Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Gina Mortensen.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're here at the Great Salt Lake Marina in the Great Salt Lake State Park.
Yeah, place that really needs no introductions, but we love Utah state parks, and this is a really cool place to come. And even cooler because we're surrounded by boats, and I love boats. And so do you.
I absolutely love boats, but I have never been on a sailboat before, so this is a first.
So we're gonna go out and see some really cool things. They say sailboating is what you do when you don't want to do anything. And as a power boater, that looks kind of cool.
Listen, there's snacks on board with our kids.
They're getting life jackets on right now. The skipper's giving them rules.
We're gonna get out on the Great Salt Lake and experience sailing for the first time while you meet our captains, the Bennetts.
So we ordered the boat brand new from the Catalina factory in 2001. We got it in April of 2001 and it's our first boat. We had a 42-foot Catalina out in San Francisco for a couple years. And now I also have a Catalina 27 that I keep in San Francisco because that's where I work. And so I use that for an apartment. So we have two boats. We actually use this one more for sailing than the one in San Francisco.
I actually grew up water skiing. I grew up in Seattle, and so I have friends who have sailboats, but I'd never sailed. So when Matt said he wanted a sailboat, I was like, why? Why a sailboat? Why not a motorboat where you can do something and go fast?
I've always wanted to sail on the ocean. So I've sailed from Southern California up to San Francisco. I've also brought a Transpac yacht back from Hawaii. So I've done across ocean sailing. That was 21 days of sailing, which was a lot of fun. When we bought the boat, we'd never been sailing. And so the first thing I did was I found an all-women sailing seminar, and I sent Tracy up to Seattle for a weekend, and that she actually got to get on the boat, she actually got to sail it, and then when the boat arrived, she was so excited to get out and go sailing. But a lot of people have trouble convincing their wives that sailing can be fun, and so that was the one tactic I did right, was get her to enjoy sailing before we even got the boat. And so it worked out well. She actually is a better sail trimmer than I am. She's better at getting the pocket correct for those sails the way they need to be. I just drive the boat.
I've actually taken my girls as well to some women's sailing seminars so that they could get more involved in sailing. And when I have all my kids on the boat, we all kind of fight over who's gonna trim the sails.
So the name of our boat is Neverland, and we're always been a fan of the Peter Pan story, and because there's ships in it, pirates, and so we thought it would be a good name for a boat. That, and we never wanted to touch land.
I actually like the name Peter Pan, don't you?
I think it's great. The boat kind of fits it.
I'm a Peter Pan fan though.
And they said this is relaxing, and it really is relaxing. Our skipper is fantastic. He explains everything. We're having a really good time out here. The lake is beautiful. We are speeding along at 1.5 knots.
Speeding along. Listen, I have been laying on the bow of the boat relaxing, and I'm with all of my children. Of course, I'm not doing all the work. They're doing all the work.
Skipper says we need more wind, so when I talk, face the sail.
So true.
Anyways, we're going to keep sailing and send you guys off to this week's Where To.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're still here out on the Great Salt Lake enjoying sailing.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic. I think I'm going to go home and start shopping for a sailboat. You said there was no shopping out here.
I'm sure we can find shopping anywhere we go. Especially if we love
We're
the
headed,
experience.
right now we're headed 3.5 knots. When they said this is relaxing, they meant this is relaxing.
It is a great way to spend an afternoon though, for sure. I can see how they enjoy it.
So I am not kidding, this is a blast. If you can hear the kids, they're having a great time. We're having a great time. Sailing is way cool. Go check this out.
There's some beautiful islands out there. Antelope Island is a great view. Stansbury Island, which is technically not an island, it's a peninsula, but some beautiful islands. When people come out to sail on the lake, I let them know, I'm like, it's beautiful, but it's a little more rustic than some of the other sailing you'll find.
And we're just going to be watching the ground because the lake's only 35 feet deep at its deepest spot. So really, we're looking at the mountains around us when we sail and the waves. If you look in the water, there's a lot of birds. Some of the birds will dive under the water, and that's kind of fun to see. There's brine shrimp, sea monkeys. If you've looked in the back of an old magazine, they're just brine shrimp, and they all come from Great Salt Lake. The eggs for the brine shrimp, when they are in the water, they create a trail miles long of a red trail, and they'll send out a spotter airplane to look for these trails, and then they'll send the brine shrimpers out to where they're at, and the brine shrimpers will pull the eggs out of the lake and then sell the eggs as food for exotic fish. They also sell them as sea monkeys for kids that are interested in getting pets. It's been getting shallower every year. We're pulling a lot of the water out of the Great Salt Lake for drinking and watering lawns and things like that, and it's just being used so much due to the population increase, which is, it's good that we have the water, but the lake just keeps getting lower and lower. The drought for the past couple of years hasn't helped either, and so we really need a good snowfall this winter, not just for the skiers, but for the boats on the lake. Right now, we're about as shallow as we can be and still be able to get out of the marina.
We're skiers, so we don't usually boat in the winter. Winter is for skiing, but we do keep the boat in the water year-round.
Year-round. And sometimes, like on a nice day, we'll go skiing in the morning and come out and go sailing in the afternoon. The issue with that is you have to keep the sails on the boat, and in the wintertime, we like to pull the sails off because we get high winds in the marina. That head sail on our boat had to be replaced after we got hit with 215 knot winds, and it just shredded the head sail. It's very relaxing to go sailing. I took my brother out sailing once, and he said, sailing's what you do when you don't want to do anything. And so we have a rule. In Great Salt Lake, 85% of the time, it is relaxing. It's something you do when you need to unwind and release from the pressures of the daily work. 10%, it's exciting fun, where everything's working perfectly, the lake is flat, and you'll just get on sail and cruise along at the perfect speed for your boat. And then there's 5% sheer terror. We hate those 5% sheer terror days.
Well, we've had a few of them.
And they happen.
Hey, start pulling.
Okay, well, they get this thing turned around. We're gonna send you guys off to this week's Along the Way, sponsored by Rocky Mountain ATV.
I didn't kill us.
Good job.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. How about that view? I'm hooked. Sailing is amazing.
It's been a fabulous weekend.
Matt and Tracy Bennett are great hosts, and they've got a great boat. We really thank you, Matt and Tracy, for letting us come out on your boat today.
They are BYU and Ute fans too.
Just like us.
It's perfect.
So we just met. We've had a good time. We've kind of sat back there cruising along 3-4 knots. Everybody having great conversation, enjoying. The kids are laughing.
Yes.
A lot of jokes.
It's been a beautiful day.
This has been fun. This is what boating's about, and this is what the boating community is about. But you know what? We're heading back in.
I know the day's coming to an end, but before we end here, we're going to check out this week's sticker winner.
This week's contest winner is license plate number Y40VJ, who was spotted out on the trail a few weeks back.
It looks like they're the lucky winner of a Clearly Tough windshield for their rig.
Clearly Tough offers the strongest windshields on the market. Visit clearlytough.com for more details.
And be sure to call us on Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize.
Well, congratulations to that sticker winner. Let's take a look at next week's show.
Next week, Chad and Ria are joining our friends from Stedman's to go out to explore some exciting opportunities for riding electric bikes through a unique ghost town just outside of Zion's National Park.
Then Steve Heumann is back, and he's taking us out to Maui to discover the King's Trail as he shows off the road to Hana.
Finally, we're joining the Utah Off-Road Group and Brett Stewart of the OHV Advocates, who are teaming up to help gather some much-needed home necessities for members of the Navajo Nation. Now, let's take a look at our Trail of the Week.
This week's Trail of the Week is the Red Mountain Trails, which are located in Uintah County, approximately 8 miles north of Vernal.
To get more information on this trail or any of the other trails that have been completed on the Trail 360 project, visit outsiders.zone.
Next week's show looks great.
You definitely don't want to miss it. We've had a great time out here with Matt and Tracy Bennett from Draper and their awesome boat and getting me hooked on sailing. Thanks, Matt, for getting me hooked on sailing.
We might actually end up with a boat next year. Who knows?
You never know, but what a really relaxing day that was. I had no idea it could be that relaxing and that much fun, and we really enjoyed ourselves. And our kids had a great time.
Yep, I could spend a couple Saturdays doing that.
And you know what? Utah State Parks puts on the best show in the nation. They have the best state parks, and this one doesn't really let down. This is as good as they get. They have a great visitor center. They've got amenities. I really like it out here. So, you know what? As you're traveling around Utah, remember there's so much to see, so many things to do. Don't be afraid to pull over and find those spots, but we're out of time. I wish we could go for another half an hour. I hope you've enjoyed the show. As you're getting around Utah, remember that there's adventure around every bend.
You just have to get out there and create it yourself.
At your leisure.